students should wear school uniforms. And if we have more ideas here, we might have some examples. But in every case, anything here has to go with this idea, and this has to support this one, right? That's how our logic works. It's actually a lot like that camera, right? You see how the camera sits, it's got 3 legs. And so in really good writing, we actually try to have 3 ideas, and we try to keep them balanced. Because it's just like with that, if one leg is really short, it doesn't stand very well. Or if one leg is really long, it's not very good. So if you do something like this, right? 1 idea here, 10 ideas here, it's not a very good writing. So in English writing, that's how we prove our point. That's how we show that this idea is good, because we have balance. Okay? In Chinese, often what you do is you start with the main idea, and you talk about something, and then you come back to the main idea. And you talk about something else, and then you come back to the main idea. And you talk about something else. So in English, we say that Chinese logic tends to go in a circle, whereas English logic is more like, well, like the camera, the tripod, or we talk about a straight line from beginning to end. 不是它是比较好的，是不一样的, right? But we need to understand that so we can understand what we read to begin with, right? Understanding the text is more than just words. 如果都是字的问题，是真的没有问题, right? Because you can always use a dictionary. But if you can get more, you see a picture, you ask a question, try to find the answer. There's a name for the writing. Try to understand why. We understand that this is friendly, it's not formal. You know, there's a you, there's questions, right? We understand these things about it, and if we can understand how the ideas go together, then when there's a word we're not sure about, then we can guess. So, are you a good listener? Do you really listen, or are you usually thinking about how you'll respond? Respond like answer. Okay? Then they give you some instructions, decide to be a good listener. Here's how to be an active listener. So each point tells you what to do. So if we have a question here, read this one out. Actually, I'll get you guys to take turns. Can you read this one for me? Look. Yeah. Okay. So now we have a word with the question is concentrate. So the idea is how to be a good listener. And then we have one example. Look people in the eye when you're talking to them, right? That will show that you are concentrating on them. So, 差不多是什么意思? What does that mean? 你们都听得懂吗？还是太快还是太难的? Okay, we'll get to something else in mind. I wanted 这个是要给他们，等一下可以用不同的问题, or you can talk about something else. So this concentrating, if you have to guess, what do you think? It's an important reading skill. When you see a word that you're not sure about, what do you do? That's why it's so rude to do this. Yeah, so tell me what your name is, and you know, when people do that, it's really just 真的很不礼貌的, right? Because they're not looking at you, they're doing this. So, pick a different word. Just guess from the ideas, what other word could we put here? 还有什么字可以用的? You look people in the eye, and that shows people that you are concentrating on them. What else could we say here? Focusing, that works, yeah. Okay. We talk about focus, right? We have a certain idea that you pay attention, your eyes focus to a point, right? Focus, focus. 中文是什么意思? Okay. Yeah. So, now it's not the same, but it's a good start. So, if we can understand the whole sentence, then even if we have to guess a little bit here, then we can keep going and get the whole text. We can read the rest of it and see what other ideas can help us. Okay? But if we're looking at this word anyway, do you see anything in this word? Are there any letters there that make you think of another word in English? Now this is the correct spelling, but if you're used to American spelling, it'll look more like this. Yes, exactly. The center is the middle of something. Now, when we talk about the center, often the idea is the middle of a circle. And that helps us when we do this. We put our with meaning here, and then we turn it into a verb. So the center refers to the point in the middle. Another place you might see this this adjective, con, again meaning with the same center. So, concentric circles are like this. Oops, right, center's off. Right? The circles all have the same center. So, when we talk about a word that way in mathematics, math, then it gives us sometimes a more concentrated meaning, a more focused meaning. So the closer you go to the middle, the more concentrated it is. There's another word we can have here. When you I have a bit of a cold, so, vitamin C, right? But I could just eat an orange. Why use this instead?哪一个比较好？用它还是一个句子？哪一个比较健康？Come on, eating a fruit is always better for you, right? So eating an orange would be better. Why do we do this? Vitamin C. Because if I eat an orange, then my fingers will be sticky, right? If I feel a little bit sick on the train, then eating an orange isn't very convenient. But I can take this. It's like all of the vitamin C from the orange without the rest of the orange. It's concentrated. Wow, that was pretty bad. Concentrated. Right? When we make drinks out of powder, usually we use some kind of concentrated form. We take out the part that isn't convenient. We take out the water and the extra stuff. So we have just the part that we want. Get rid of the other stuff. In a conversation, the other stuff is a distraction. So if I have this, and I'm talking to you, but then I keep looking at this, right? I'm not concentrating on you. So all of those ideas go into this word. Now, if you want to translate it, you need more understanding. 我看得懂就好了，所以有可能这个不需要的。You don't need all of this. 看得懂可以比较快一点，所以可以多一点的念。You can read more that way. But if you're looking to translate an idea, it's important to understand everything that this is. So then when you try to use it in Chinese, then you can pick the best meaning, the best word. 所以呢，你觉得中文可以用哪一个字？ If you want to translate this sentence into Chinese, show people that you are concentrating on them. 中文呢？试试看 try. How would you say that in Chinese? 你们都可以试试看 Everybody try one sentence. And if you all try the same sentence, we'll get different versions, different ways of saying it, and we can pick the best one. Right? And that's how translation skill works. It's the same thing with writing. You try to write it many times, and you pick the best one. It's what everybody does. When you're a photographer, you don't say, one picture, so hello, right? You take 100 pictures, and you pick the best one. Same thing. So, yeah. So, try the whole sentence, see what you can come up with. So, 比较大的主题是听, right? Listening. But listening better. Not just pretending to listen, not just hearing, but really listening. This is how you do it. 好，这是它的主题。 所以这个句子呢，会是这样。给人看你什么？Go try. ，Okay. Okay. So you have here, instead of show people, you said let people know, right? So, 给人看，给人知道, right? Let people know. That's an important idea here. And then you also kept this. So, you don't always need to keep this, but in this case, it's important, right? 不是每一次这个 ing 的 How are you doing? 你好吗？是不一样的 right? 你好吗是 How do you do? Or how are you? But how are you doing? 你好吗？也可以用，因为这个 Are you doing 不那么重要的 It's not really important, you know? Like right now, how are you doing? I don't care about yesterday, right now. Right? 这是没有那么重要的。But in this kind of a sentence, yeah, that's probably important. Okay, wanna try? 你觉得他的句子就好了，还是还有什么可以？